Hey guys, welcome to my caravan build. It's kind of like a hybrid caravan toy hauler combo. As you can see, I've started on it already. It's got the steelwork done and it's all here, sort of ready to go for the walls. I'll show you around, show you all the steelwork, show you where I'm up to, and then I'm going to start the series from this point forward. So let's have a look. There you go. So you can see at the back there, there's the gap where this will be the rear quarter. Your handles to open the tailgate will be up there, and this spot through here is the room for the ramp, and so that'll sit on there and then tilt down level. And you can see over here, that's the ramp that'll be going in that space there I just showed you. And yeah, so that the idea is that you can, you know, if you want to put bikes in there, mountain bikes, motorbikes, kayaks, you can shove in there and take your toys with you. And we'll move on to the chassis and the springs. It's nothing flash or special, just keeping it simple. Just a real simple kind of, we call them an outback spring. They're a little bit upgrade from just a standard spring. They have like a special rebound on them. They're meant to be better for, in heavier duty, for going on outback roads and things like that. And they have a greasable pivot points there at the front and a bigger, larger hanger, so you can get more weld on there, which is good for the vibration. And you've also got more pivot points there that are greasable. And just using a solid step axle with electric brakes and just a Commodore stud pattern. Yeah, it's only rated to 1.5 ton. I'm trying to keep it really light to be able to just carry just what I need. And yeah, if I need to upgrade that later, I just got my stabilizers there. I've just welded them on. Nice simple sort of pull, and then twist to level up there. And the chassis, as you can see, is like a 100 by 50, and it goes right from the back to the front, right to the drawbar. So guys, I'll show you my design now here so you get a better idea. I've got it engineered with a guy at work. I was lucky enough to work with someone who's an engineer and can CAD draw it. So as you can see here, that'll be the end goal. That's the fiberglass walls essentially. And this, I'm doing a bit of a unique front that I sort of came up with, and it's a sort of, yeah, there's one, that's allowed to be the same one panel there on the sidewall, and it'll wrap around to those two panels on the front there. And then that roof there will just hinge off of that hinge there and sort of go up on an angle. And I'll end up having a canvas all the way around that. And this edge here is actually will be radius. So up on this picture, it gives you a better idea. So you see how that's actually like a 250 mil radius, and that's so they all curve around and go in on that angle, and just to give it a bit of a unique look, and sort of I think it looks good and makes it look cool. So yeah, that's the design there, and I've never built one exactly like this before, but yeah, we'll see how it goes. So these composite panels, guys, the fiberglass panels, I'll show you them real quick. As you can see there, that's the passenger side one there. You can see there that's that front, that special cutout goes there, and then the radius will go right top to bottom. And then we've got this cutout here, and that's for the fridge slide and the kitchen slide out. And you can see there that we just leave them on until we glued it to the steel frame. It just gives it that integrity, that strength. And then once it's glued to the steel frame, we just cut it out, cut those knops there, we trim it out and put our rubbers on for the door seal. And that's the top one there cut out, that'll be for the pantry. And then another cutout there, and that'll be the entry to the door, or the door entry into the van. And in the very top back panel is the roof there. And I'll just show you how it's made. It's sort of just a cool product. It sort of saves time. It's a bit more expensive than, say, doing steel and everything yourself. and skinning it with fiberglass, but it's just like a fiberglass skin on the outside, and then a foam, and then another fiberglass skin on the other side. There's 2 panels there. This is the foam that's in the middle, and that just uses special adhesive and glue. It glues the one side, the fiberglass skin, to that side, and then other side to that, and you get it routed out, and you can get special channels put in it and strengthened and all that sort of gear. And yeah, so that's that, and that'll be the front walls and the roof. And I've got to make up my own sort of way of doing it for the ramp. I've just sort of got my own loose foam and fiberglass skin, and I'll be gluing it all together. Well, that's basically going to be what makes up the roof and sides. So back with the steel work here with the chassis, guys. It kind of looks like the steel going everywhere. Some of the things are just braces to hold it until I get the panels glued in. So that's just a brace, for example. And then we got a brace that goes right from the top to the front. It's just keeping it straight. And then you've got these 2 here, that one and that one. And they're just to sort of hold that front in until we get it glued. So I'm using fiberglass panels to run along the edge here and get glued into the sides. And then they get glued into the front bit that goes up and across and then down again. And then all those braces are just to stop it from moving while I've welded it out, and just to keep it there until we get it glued on. And so then you see sort of the rail here that goes up to the front and around. All that stuff is staying, and that'll actually be a bed. So it'll come around the front here, and then so that'll be a bed for 2 adults, like a double-sized bed there. And then that will actually have a false sort of floor in it, and that'll hinge up so you can access all that storage in there. And then I'll show you better plans, but there will also be a slide-out kitchen and fridge on that side there, on that so you can have your kitchen outside. And so like this, those braces there are just holding it until we get those panels glued on, and it'll have a tiltable roof, not a pop top or a hard roof, but a tilting roof from the front there. I thought I'd go through with what's sort of the next step, what more we have to do, and where we're at currently with the build. And yes, I'll show you. We'll go from there. So currently we have, I'm going to need to put a water tank in there into the chassis, so that'll go underneath here. And it's sort of as close to the axle as possible under there, and I'll just weld in some rails there, and hopefully I'm going to get 120 litres of water in there. Yeah, and it'll just sit sort of in this area here, and then it'll run up to the kitchen there, and I have a pump into the kitchen. Yeah, I've got my stabilisers on. I'm trying to basically do everything I need to do under the floor, so that obviously I don't have to do it under there anymore. I can access it above instead of just doing it from underneath. So we've got the electric brakes, got to wire in, got to do the actual electrical wiring of that. Got to put the wire from front to back for the lights and wire in the electric brakes there. Yep, the handbrake and handbrake cable, the hitch there, all that sort of stuff. Even the plumbing, the water hose, got to screw that into the chassis to be able to just tie it up out of the way. A little bit more painting to do. I'd love to sort of paint all that bed frame there. What else is there? Just all those little things that don't sound like much, but it's way harder to do once that floor is on. And so the idea is to get everything done for under there, and then we'll be putting the floor on, and then it'll be gluing those fiberglass panels on that I showed you, and they will just sit on top of this 50 by 50 along there, glue there, and then glue into the steel here for the ramp or the rear quarter. Yeah, and then glue to that steel that goes up and over and across. And so yeah, once I'm at that stage, it'll look like a caravan, and then there's just lots of little things that take so much time, like the want to put a battery in here and then wire in some lights for the roof, have switches over there near the pantry. If we have a pump, that'll be on a switch. I'm just trying to keep it simple too, this build. I'm not being extravagant and crazy, doing things wild. I'm just trying to do things on a budget, just to be able to keep it simple. Even if things later, if I want to add like a shower and stuff like that, you know, that stuff I can add on later. Right now it's just to get out, go camping with the family, and possibly throw things in, and yeah, we'll go from there. So that's the plan. Yeah, stay tuned. Hope to have episodes out fairly regularly, and you can see the progress as we go along. So one more thing, guys, is I thought I'd let you know my background and history and experience. One thing that I know I'm always interested in when I watch these sorts of videos of if people have done it before, or if they know what they're doing, and it means that they've done it as a job sort of thing, or whether they're just having a crack and learning as they go, and what their experience is. And so I'm a sheet metal fabricator. I've been a fabricator since 2005, and mainly worked in commercial kitchens, and for the last 5 to 6 years I've specifically worked in the coach building industry. Worked for somebody who built toy haulers, mainly for guys who had motorbikes and things like that. So I've built, I think, around 200 of those, and so that's where my knowledge comes from mainly, is that all this chassis design and axles and what I've done here is sort of taken from that experience. And specifically in the last 4 years I've worked in like bus building, and being able to have that experience with the fiberglass and sort of certain glues and stuff like that sort of helps a lot for me. But apparently this build, like, it's 100% my own idea and design, and a lot of it, you know, as far as the walls go, I'm just trying to do it in a way that, you know, if I did ever build them in the future for people, I can know what works and what doesn't work too. Yeah, so it's just sort of a bit of fun. Hopefully I'd love to maybe do it for a business, but that's, you know, something in the future that I don't know how it's going to work out yet. And yeah, I just thought if there's people who are interested to know how this stuff goes together, I'm interested to know how it sort of works and in the real world, and how it holds together once we go camping and along the off the beaten track. So yeah, hope you enjoy it. Come along and see it take shape. Cheers.